As I've said the last 3 days, the unjustified violence continues. We're not talking about peaceful protest. We're talking about violence in our streets, the harming and killing of police officers, the looting, the stealing, the ravaging. It goes on and on. This was obviously pre-planned by groups like Antifa. And I might add, it's interesting that there's been no coverage by Fox News of our lawsuit against Antifa. I have an oral argument before the Ninth Circuit in Oakland, California next week on a case that I brought for a young woman, a young gay woman, Kiara Robles, who was attacked by Antifa on the Berkeley campus when she simply went to hear Milo Yiannopoulos, a Breitbart reporter, speak. She was pepper sprayed, she was assaulted, as the Berkeley police, both of the university and of the city, stood around and watched, twiddling their thumbs. I filed the lawsuit on behalf of Kiara. It went in front of a judge, a very leftist judge by the name of Claudia Wilkins, who is a graduate and also taught law at Berkeley Law School. And she dismissed the case. It's a long story, and you can read about it by going to freedomwatchusa.org. I'm confident that this dismissal will be reversed, particularly in light of all that's going on today. But it's very interesting that Fox News did not report this case and refuses to report this case. It shows you that it's not fair and balanced, it's fair and imbalanced. And also, let's look at another observation, not just with regard to Fox, but the other cable networks. Isn't it interesting that when they were boosting ratings, raking in advertising dollars, making profit hand over fist on the coronavirus, having these chyrons on the right side of the screen showing people dying second by second, all of a sudden, no discussion of coronavirus, no chart showing people dying second by second, because they've got something better now, quote unquote, to boost their ratings and to boost the money that's jingling the change into their coffers. It shows you the dishonesty, the hackery, and how disgusting these cable news networks are. And make no mistake about it, Fox is the most unethical of the three, even if you may agree with them sometimes with regard to their philosophy, and that's changing too. It's going left. Now, the biggest offender, as I've said over and over again, is Sean Hannity. And yesterday it was reported that he was secretly divorced a year ago and had an understanding with his so-called wife 4 years ago. Now, people don't criticize. I'm divorced myself. I'm not criticizing him for being divorced, but by hiding it and then presenting an image that he is the perfect family man, holier than thou, religious, mom and pie, apple pie, that kind of person. It shows you the duplicitousness and the hypocrisy and dishonesty of this individual. And I've said it over and over again, because he's the one who perpetrates these falsehoods that there's going to be justice right around the corner to boost his ratings with regard to Comey, McCabe, the rest of them. He puts on these worthless guests, including Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, who simply go through dog and pony shows, who never do anything, but yet our clients are doing real things. No, you don't see Kiara Robles on Fox News, who stuck her neck out and sued Antifa, and you don't see it on Hannity. You'll see people who do nothing. And that's my criticism. Now let's get to another issue. The president now sent out a tweet that Roger Stone should sleep well at night. Well, maybe he's going to pardon him very, very soon. But he should take into account, with the testimony yesterday of the lying on the FISA warrants that triggered the witch hunt against him, lying under oath, that Roger Stone was convicted for lying under oath, for intimidating witnesses, tampering with witnesses, and obstruction of justice. If the president pardons Stone, he is in effect condoning the lying in the FISA warrants that got him enmeshed in a witch hunt and ultimately got him impeached. Never convicted, but impeached. And that's a problem. Now, I'm also going to say this, because I say constructive criticism. I personally support the president, but he's got to get his act together. And he's not doing enough with regard to China. We're doing it. We're carrying the load at Freedom Watch with our class action lawsuit in Dallas, Texas, in Jerusalem, Israel, and our criminal case in The Hague, Holland, against the communist Chinese leadership to have them thrown in prison. So what's the verdict, fellow patriots and supporters? Freedom Watch is carrying the load of our government, not just of our so-called Justice Department, which does little to nothing, but also the president himself, because he's not been strong enough. And he needs to start getting his act together and talking out of one side of his mouth rather than out of both sides of his mouth if he wants to be reelected. And he is in jeopardy right now. Now, personally, I support him. I don't tell people who to vote for as head of Freedom Watch. But this is important. And we're, in effect, his defense counsel. We've done it many, many times. We don't get any credit because Stone obviously has defamed me with Trump as he defamed my client, Jerry Corsi, and has lawsuits pending in that regard. The president really needs to wake up because we're going to be left defenseless if we have the Democrats come into office. This country is going to be socialized. People are rolling over already to the destruction and mayhem being caused by these communist socialist agitators and vigilantes like Antifa. And I don't hear the president talking about our lawsuit with Antifa. He needs to start paying attention to what Freedom Watch is doing because we're actually helping him, whereas people like Roger Stone are dragging him down. That's my message for today. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. Support our class action against the communist Chinese, our criminal case in The Hague, our parallel case in Jerusalem, Israel against the communist Chinese to have them pay for the huge damage of COVID-19. And share this podcast. You can go to freedomwatchusa.org, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Fire, Roku, Facebook, Twitter. Get it out far and wide because at Radio America, we tell the truth. And Larry Klayman, personally, I can't tell you who to vote for as head of Freedom Watch. I want to see the president win. But right now, he's in peril of losing, and things are not going well. And one of the things that won't go real well for him is if he pardons Roger Stone, he will be condoning everything that was done against him with false testimony under oath. God bless you. God bless America. God save America. And I'll be back tomorrow with a special podcast of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. And listen to our radio show this weekend, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. You can find it at freedomwatchusa.org, Spotify, iTunes, Roku, Amazon Fire, Twitter, Facebook, on Radio America's website at radioamerica.com. Stay safe. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, thank you for listening to me.